Hello, it's me, Duke, from Duke's Paint Art. So, today I will not show you how to paint miniatures, but I will analyze Sorastro's Cap America video and explain you why my cap looks like this and why Sorastro's video is a masterpiece. I have decided not to edit and cut extreme videos and so on because I'm a painter and not a filmmaker. I will leave that to the expert Sorastros. Okay, everybody knows Sorastros painting. His videos are cineastic, bombastic, perfectly staged, and musically super underlined. But there is much more than that. He also shows important techniques of professional painting art. I have picked few elements of pro painting, or like we say, the magic of his video, and I would like to explain it to you so good as I can. Okay, let's go into the wonderful tutorial world of the Grandmaster Sorastro. Let us begin, or how the Spanish say, let the magic begin.
Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Sorastro's Marvel Crisis Protocol painting series. In these videos I'll be painting miniatures from Atomicmassgames' Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures game, starting with Captain America. When painting the miniatures I'll be aiming to control the saturation and contrast levels to help create a bright, clean look in keeping with the genre. And for this series I'll be indulging myself by aiming for an above tabletop standard. There are of course a myriad of options when it comes to painting miniatures, however, and I can recommend looking at the developer's own live painting streams for lots of additional ideas and techniques to help get you painting, no matter how new to the hobby you might be.
Wow! What an intro! What can I say? This is the way of Sorastro's guiding videos. Really a masterpiece and amazing intro. But let us see now what kind of special tricks or magic he has hidden in his videos. Here we go. Magic number 1.
Once assembled, I sometimes like to use a little brush-on matte varnish to fill in any gaps left between the parts. If for any reason you end up with anything larger than a tiny gap, such as I did here, we could use some green stuff instead. After some deliberation, I decided to glue the figures to the bases now rather than later, and although I used plastic glue to assemble the figures, I actually found that superglue gave a stronger bond when gluing the figures down.
What? Okay, have a time. Let us see. He said use the plastic glue instead of the superglue, or use the matte varnish for fill the gaps before you spray it. And you know what? It works. Wow! Thank you for that, Mrs. Sorastro. Thank you for that. Okay, next. Magic number 2.
Next I'm going to prime the entire set in black with the airbrush using Badger's Stynel Res Black Primer, although a spray can would also be fine. I'm now providing some zenithal highlights by first spraying a mid-tone grey, in this case Vallejo's Cold Grey, from a rough halo around the miniature. I like to do this because it helps us to see all of the details a lot more easily, and it also opens up the option of our exploiting the resulting pattern of light and shade. Having said that, a plain prime in black, white or grey would also be okay, bearing in mind that it's easier to achieve brighter looking colours when working over a lighter coloured prime. I'm now maximising the contrast by spraying some pure white directly from above, using Vallejo's Dead White.
Okay, this is really good. The normal way of our professional painters is spray them black, mix it with water, spray them gray, mix it with gray, a little bit more, then spray the miniature, and then mix this thing with white, mix it, and spray again, and so on. But Sorastros found a way. For me, this way is very, very annoying and boring, and Sorastros found a way. Spray it black, take it cold gray, and my recommend is take it dead white. I do this with this guy and works 100% and really goes faster. I have an additional trick. Before you change the color, take a little bit airbrush cleaner and clean the nozzle and the needle, and this is really get faster than if you do this not. Okay, thank you for this really good station trick and magic, and let's see the most frequently asked question ever: how can I thin my colors? How can I paint so smooth the face? And so on. And really, here comes the answer. Enjoy. Magic number 3.
I'm going to begin by painting the skin using a roughly equal mix of Bugman's Glow and Cadian Flesh Tone. I'm using a wet palette by Redgrassgames and my go-to brush, which is a size 2 Series 8 by Rosemary & Co. It's entirely optional, but sometimes I like to mix in a little flow enhancer, which just alters the surface tension of the paint and allows it to flow more easily over the surface of the miniature. This can be thinned with water, and we only need to add a small amount.
Magic number 4. Really awesome thing. I thought you never see it, but I see it. Look how he hold the miniature with a holder like this, or you can hold it with everything, and look his fingers. His fingers have a perfectly stance to the miniature, holding quietly, yeah. Stabilize with the thumb, hold the brush in the right position, yeah. You see the tip of the brush comes exactly to the point, and everything is fine. You have no chance to shiver or whatever. I know everybody has his own stance, but this is really a good position. So, and now comes the most important magic in this video here. Listen what he tells about the mid-tone and the highlights and the shadows. Also the washing shade method from before. Check this out and learn and understand what he means of the full power of control. Magic number 5.
I'm going to begin by highlighting the blue outfit, firstly by building the dark to mid-tones by increasing the amount of medium blue in the original black and blue base tone mix. I'm going to do this in a couple of stages until I reach a broad highlight of pure medium blue. Notice that the paint appears a fair bit brighter when it's wet.
Here was one of the first magical words, the mid-tone. The mid-tone. Because he painting the whole miniature with the base coat, mix it by his color combi. By the way, the best color combi you can do it. And now he goes to the mid-tone. And this is what the most people doing wrong. They painting a base coat and then painting highlights. But you have to first paint a mid-tone, because from the normal paints go to a next level and then go to a next level and then go to a next level.
You can see I'm covering most of the suit, but leaving some dark lining in the creases and joins. A quicker alternative to this way of working would be to begin with a lighter base tone, say of pure medium blue, then applying a dark wash with something like Drakenhof Nightshade. I've only chosen this approach because I want full control over the light and shade, and a cleaner looking finish than we sometimes have when using a wash.
And that's the right way. Don't use the wash, because the wash, you have no control over the wash. You destroy your whole miniature. Please start to paint in the right way like he does. You have full control. You can do whatever you want. You can go back. We call it the back and forth game. You can go back and paint the shadows again, and you can go further forth and paint the highlights again. You can do this so often you want, and you get really an awesome damn result. Oh wow, is a lot of stuff. What we learn is how to fill the gaps, prep and spray perfectly way, and midtones, highlights, shadows, and we all call them the magic steps. But now, let us a little bit analyze the video, how it's changed now. Now Sorastros comes to a little end and changed the music from the standard strings and so on to the very, very emotional, dramatically ding 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 mystical sounds, and I call it the additional magic.
And I'm placing quite a strong highlight along the upper edge. I'm now moving on to the star on the chest. Finally, I'm going to highlight the skin, firstly with some Cadian flesh tone. And I'm going to lighten this with some Kislev flesh. Notice I haven't bothered painting the eyes since they're so overshadowed by the mask. Here I've chosen to bring a little depth to the shadows with some Reichland flesh shade, which I'm thinning with some medium. It's mainly the lips and the shadow beneath the cheekbone I want to hit with this. And I'm now adding a few final highlights with some Kislev flesh mixed with a little white.
So, Sorastros show us everything. We learn a lot of stuff, how to paint this miniature correctly with the correct colors, non-metallic steel parts, leather parts, and hold the right position with your brush and paint everything in the right corner with lights and reflections. I always say the right position of the brush, check the lines, black lines, and paint the face correctly, not washing the whole face. And really, what can I say? This is the right way. You learned a lot of stuff, and now it comes to a best part. Sorastros is showing us his advanced expert level to paint his shield in the non-metallic light reflection style. The Master Call. This magic spell.
We're now ready to add some finishing touches. I'm now going to add some highlights and reflections to the shield using the same colours already used elsewhere on the model. Therefore, I'm using Mephiston red mixed with a hint of black to begin placing a radial highlight on the red bands of the shield. I'm now moving up to Evil Sun Scarlet, shrinking the size of the highlight as I do so. And here I'm adding some ivory. For the middle band, I'm once again adding ivory to the blue-grey pale base tone. I'm also adding some white for the brightest highlights. And I'm now beginning to add a few highlights to the centre of the shield, once again using medium blue, magic blue, and eventually some pale blue. I'm now adding some additional radial highlights in the same way elsewhere on the shield. Here I'm mixing some black and medium blue into the blue-grey pale to deepen the tone in between the highlights on the middle band of the shield. And this completes Captain America. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please note you'll find a full product list in the video description below, along with links to where I can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify and Twitter.
Now the difference between the two stars. What is the difference between my Captain America and Mr. Sorastro's Captain America? I show you. First, my base is not so cool like from Sorastro's, yeah? I put only some colors and a wash and damn fat finish, yeah? But I take for the armor of Captain America, I glaze it with the blue, green, and a little bit ivory or white. Like I say, I glaze it. I paint this whole miniature and then I glaze the higher parts only with these blue-green color. And what is a glaze? Check out on YouTube, yeah? Alright, the next thing is what I do is I paint my shield more in a satin, yeah? I do a glaze with, for example, blood letter glaze from Citadel. It's pretty awesome. It's given a little bit of stronger touch, and I glaze the shield again, and I glaze it over, and so on and so on. And then I take the color flat red, glaze it a little bit with flat red, and I paint some white stripes in the near of the star. Yeah. The next thing is what I do is Sorastro's is glaze it with yellow for the sunlight reflection. This is a pretty awesome cool tip, but I don't do this. I don't only the blue glaze here on these metal parts. So, and after that I take a very, very, very awesome trick. Take a little bit of Lamia medium in the pot, some drops here. Take your brush, go in this pot, and go over, after it's dry, over the shield, for example, a little bit, or something wherever you want. This gives him, the shield, a new touch, and new color touches and reduced some of the stripes or whatever, not fine things. Let's say some last words about why is Sorastro's video a masterpiece. His video shows in a perfectly angled, very clear language, and the step by step is pretty awesome. Finally, he shows us the best color combi that you can find for Captain America. He allows you to approve it, to go back and forth, and he allows you to make further steps and fix some mistakes in a pretty awesome way. Then the music is perfect, underlined, really perfect. Yeah, the setting is super awesome. He built by himself. He built everything. He go outside in where he living and check some stores and check some this and build this in his tabletop too. Yeah, this is a really cool thing. Yeah, and this is why this video is a masterpiece. You cannot go wrong if you want to paint the Marvel miniatures. I'm very excited to see the rest of the miniatures, Iron Man and so on. Yeah, and this is what I can say. Thank you for that, Mr. Sorastros. I enjoyed this video and I hope you like my analyzing. I notice that your work is a very hard work. Yeah, please let him subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. Follow me, follow him, go to his Patreon, check it what you can, and really support guys like us, like him, like other painters. I show in another video some cool painters. Support them all and learn how to get a better painter in a faster way and for super cool gameplay. That is what I like. That is what we love. We have a super community. This Instagram thing here is the awesome thing. Thank you for all. Thank you for watching. And this is all what I say. This is the way. Bye.
Join me again soon as we continue painting miniatures from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Happy painting!